earlier. All right, so thank you. That was the first contribution of the stream, much earlier. Okay. Now, continuing on, our first tip of the day. Okay, let's try that again. Clicked on it and it aired out. Our first tip of the day is a $5 tip from, I guess it's an anonymous tipper because I don't see any name attached to it. So an anonymous $5 tipper. Thank you for that. Let's see what they have to say in a sec. Let's get this up on the leaderboard. Okay. Have you seen Dredd 2012? I watched it and thought it was a fun, solid movie, much different than the trailer led you to believe. Have you seen it? Have you seen the Stallone Judge Dredd movie? First of all, the Stallone Judge Dredd movie I saw in theaters with my father. It was a giant blockbuster at the time. It was a really well-received movie. Everyone liked it. I loved it. My dad and I love Stallone action movies from back in the day, and we saw it together. We thought it was funny. We thought it was very entertaining. Like, it was a really well-done movie. The law! But no, it was a good movie. As for this modern one, I did see it. I can't remember. I think I saw it as soon as it went like digital on demand. So I remember seeing it, and actually it has, I forget the name of the actor, but it's the same guy who played one of the main characters of The Boys. And he also has played many action roles. Remember, he was in the Doom movie ages ago with The Rock. I think he did a really good job playing Judge Dredd. I actually really like Carl Urban. Thank you. I think he's a good actor, and I think he did a really good job. I remember really enjoying the movie. Now, I haven't seen it in like a decade, but I remember when I saw it like a decade ago, I thought it was a good movie, and that's an action movie I'd like to watch again sometime. But I remember it being pretty good. Kind of weird, though, that they made that movie, because does anyone know about, like, is Judge Dredd popular? Like, in the 90s, the reason the Judge Dredd movie was popular is because it had Sylvester Stallone. That's really the reason. That's it. That's the only reason the movie did well, is because it had Sylvester Stallone. If it didn't have Stallone, no one would have cared about the Judge Dredd movie. But Stallone made it a title role. You see what I mean? Like, Stallone is Dredd. So everyone wanted to see the movie because of that, and then it blew up and made a lot of money. Carl Urban, I hate to say it, as good of an actor as he is, I don't think that he's really putting butts in theater seats. You know what I'm saying? So, it was a good movie, but I'm not shocked that it wasn't like a blockbuster hit or anything like that. You know what I mean? But I thought it was a fine movie. I thought it was a really well done movie, and I enjoyed it. So there you go. Yeah, Rob Schneider. Remember that? Rob Schneider was the comic relief of the Judge Dredd Stallone movie in the 90s. Yes, he was. Back when he was prominent, he was in a bunch of movies. Not just Adam Sandler movies, but a few other movies as well. Okay. Dabian says it's got a lot of graphic novels and comics. Oh, I'm aware that Judge Dredd started as, comic books. I know that. In fact, in the original, the Judge Dredd movie with Stallone, the title screen, or the title credits, are comic book panels to show you that that's where it kind of started from. So at one point it was probably, Judge Dredd is not prominent anymore. You know what I mean? Like, no one really talks about Judge Dredd, and oh my God, Judge Dredd, the amazing comic book. Today it's all Marvel, DC, major heroes. That's about Ninja Turtles, and that's about it, right? Okay. All right, well, guys, that's what I got so far. If any other contributions come in, I'll shout them out. Now, another reminder, guys, today, the best way to support me would absolutely be tipping. As I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, for some weird reason, last week tips actually really slowed down to a crawl. I barely was even hitting any tips goals at all over the course of the week. And I don't want this to be a pattern that hurts. So if you were thinking of contributing today and you had a choice, if you could tip me, that would be great. If I could hit like one tips goal. Here's my goals for the week. Because what I should start doing is outlining goals for the week. Okay? Here are my two major goals for this week. Goal number one, I'd like to hit 600 members by the end of the week. We're just starting. We got 6 days of streaming. If by the end of this week I could hit 600 members, that would be an accomplishment I'd be proud of and say thank you all. All right? The other accomplishment, to at least hit one tips goal a day. Every day I'm dual streaming this week. Okay? So as long as I'm hitting that tier 1 tips goal at least once a week or once a day, that's great. All right? I'm not expecting it every stream or anything like that. But at least if I could hit it once a day, that would be stupendous. And then I would be like, you know what? Things are going decent. Things are going good. All right. So those are my goals for the week. 600 members by the end of the streaming week, and hit at least one tier 1 tips goal per day of 2 streams a day. Fair enough. And I'll be bringing, that should be the goal. I should have concrete goals. And I think maybe not having concrete goals has hurt me. She said, these are the goals we're actually working toward. This is what we're trying to do. Can we do it? Right? So I think we should start doing that a little bit more rather than everything being ambiguous. Right? So we'll see what happens. All right. But thank you. Hopefully we'll get a good, kind of rejuvenation and get back on track this week. Like I said, last week, memberships were great. We went from like low 500s all the way up to 560 members. Zero complaints there. Super chats were actually high last. We had a few really large super chats that help out a lot. But again, it's the tips that concern me when I have a lot of stuff I need to buy in the next few weeks. So, okay. All right, guys. What would you guys like to talk about? We have a few minutes left. It's already 12:35, but we have a couple extra minutes if you want to do a little bit of Q&A. Unless you just want to end the podcast here, we can do that too.